Today, we're jumping into something really visual, something we all engage with, clothing.
Yeah, specifically that whole dynamic between Western styles and, well, traditional
Oh,
clothes.
exactly. We've got some material here from a show called English Podcast Show Fashion Talks.
Ah, right. The episode was titled Western Wear versus Traditional Wear, The Great Style Debate. Sounds interesting.
It really is. And our mission today, basically, is to unpack that. What even is Western wear when we talk about it?
And how does it stack up against, the huge variety of traditional clothing around the world?
Okay, so let's start there. The Source podcast sort of lays out Western wear as, well, the style's coming mainly out of places like the US and Europe,
Right, contemporary stuff. Think jeans, t-shirts, obviously.
but also suits, skirts, dresses,
Yeah.
the kinds of things you see influenced by what's happening in cities, those urban trends.
Pretty much the global standard in many contexts, you could argue.
Okay, so that's Western wear. But then the source really dives into traditional wear, and that's where things get incredibly diverse.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just one category. It's deeply rooted in culture, in heritage.
And it varies massively, right? The podcast mentioned India, for instance.
Yeah, you've got the sari, salwar kameez, lehengas, kurta pajamas. Just so many distinct styles within one region.
And then Japan, the kimono instantly iconic.
Or Scotland, it's the kilt.
Hmm.
Very specific cultural identities tied to these garments.
That's the fascinating part. The source brings up these clothes often carry so much meaning.
Totally. It's not just about how they look, the patterns, the colors they choose, even the specific way something is embroidered. It often has real cultural or symbolic weight behind it. They tell a story.
Right, it's like a visual language almost, communicating heritage, maybe status, belonging. It's way more than just fabric.
Exactly. And that ties into the personal connection the source talks about.
How wearing certain things can reflect who you are, where you come from.
Or even just your mood that day, It's expressive.
Yeah, I liked hearing the hosts in the original podcast talk about their own experiences. One mentioned how, Western wear is the go-to for everyday stuff.
Makes sense. Comfort, ease.
But for festivals, big celebrations, they actively choose traditional outfits. It's like the clothes themselves mark the occasion as special.
That really resonates. It shows how traditional wear can add this layer of significance, maybe even reverence, to certain moments.
It's more than just dressing up, it's about connecting.
Yeah, the host mentioned feeling more grounded, connected, when wearing traditional clothes. That cultural link is powerful.
And the other host had that relatable story, maybe not loving the traditional outfits forced on you as a kid for family events,
Oh, definitely been there.
but now, as an adult, feeling a much stronger pull towards that heritage, understanding it differently.
It shows how our relationship with these things evolves, doesn't it, as we understand ourselves and our roots better.
Yeah. The source also highlighted how specific garments can just trigger memories.
Like tangible links to the past, a certain piece can bring back moments, feelings, that personal narrative woven in. It's quite something.
Okay, but let's talk practicalities. The podcast didn't shy away from the comfort factor.
Right.
Let's be real. For just knocking about day to day, jeans and a t-shirt are often just
Yeah.
easier, right?
Sure, the source acknowledges that. Western wear definitely offers that everyday convenience for a lot of people.
But then they made a good counterpoint, too.
That well-designed traditional wear can be comfortable.
Exactly. They mentioned, light cotton kurtas being great in hot weather.
So maybe that comfort argument isn't purely one-sided. It depends on the specific garment and the design.
Good point. But what about versatility? The podcast suggested Western wear often fits in more places.
Yeah, that perception that it's more adaptable across different situations, work, casual, going out.
While traditional wear might feel more linked to specific, maybe more formal occasions, why do you think that is?
Well, it could be partly historical, maybe globalization. Western business suits, for example, became a sort of default in many professional settings.
Okay.
So while traditional wear is hugely significant culturally, its use might seem more context-bound sometimes. But
Wait.
this is where fusion comes in, which the podcast also touched on.
Ah, yes. The blending. I love seeing that.
It's becoming so much more common, like those Indo-Western style.
Pairing a kurta with jeans, you see that everywhere now.
Or like a structured blazer thrown over something more traditional, like a lehenga. It's creative.
It really is. What does that trend signal, do you think?
Well, I think it shows fashion getting less rigid, People are drawing from different places, expressing themselves uniquely.
So it's less about either.
Exactly. The source frames it as using clothing to show who you are right now, blending comfort, culture, personal flair, whatever feels right.
So, if we boil it all down from the source material,
Hmm.
what's the main takeaway?
I think it's that both Western and traditional styles have their place, their value. Neither is inherently better.
Right, it's about purpose and expression.
Precisely. Traditional clothes can give you that deep sense of connection, that rootedness. The podcast mentioned feeling regal in a sari, honoring the past.
Mm-hmm.
While Western wear might lean more towards expressing individuality, a sort of modern identity for many.
But the lines are blurring.
Absolutely, that fluidity, the mixing and matching, that's maybe the most exciting part now.
Yeah, the source ended on a really positive note, didn't it? Encouraging people to just play.
Experiment, blend things. Dress for comfort, yes, but also for culture if you want.
Recognize that what you wear tells your story.
That's it. It's not a competition between styles. It's about the richness of having the choice.
A fantastic way to think about it.
Yeah.
Makes you look at your own wardrobe a bit differently, doesn't it?
It really does. What messages are you sending today? Anyway, thanks for diving into this with me.
Always fascinating. Until the next deep dive, everyone, keep looking closely at the world around you.